My ambition is to take the work that the wider research community does, both here at RTI or in academic community and elsewhere, and translate it and communicate it to a broader audience. So everything I write is always research and evidence-based. It always links back to the original studies. Those are the foundation. And I'm just trying to convey the essence of them in an accessible way. I do have the hope that it influences policy in a positive way, but once I write it and it goes out there, I no longer have control. So it's used however it's used, but I feel like I'm doing my part if I at least communicate the content of research in a way that people can understand. My advice for people who want to reach a larger audience is basically to practice doing it. If anyone who's watching and listening thinks about something that they're actually good at, whether it's a sport, any skill, chess, tennis, math, programming, a computer game, anything they're good at, and think about how they got there. They got there through practice over many years. And it's not just practice, but it's a certain kind of practice. And it's a kind of practice that's articulated in a book by Anders Ericsson called Peak. It was a very influential book to me, and I recommend it highly. But he says, don't just practice, but do dedicated practice, which involves focusing on where mistakes and errors are being made, trying to identify them. And sometimes you need help doing that, like a coach or a teacher. And then really pushing yourself through those mistakes and errors and get better. And it's sort of obvious when you hear it stated, but it's actually something that we all do to some extent and then stop doing. It's why our level of performance reaches a plateau in most things. So if people say, gee, I'm not improving in tennis and chess and whatever, well, it's because they've kind of become complacent with their skills. So if they think back when they started, it was really obvious where the errors were. When you get on a tennis court for the first time, you're hitting the ball all over the place. It's embarrassing. And you're so embarrassed you want to improve, and it's clear where the errors are. But once you reach a certain point where it's no longer embarrassing, it's actually hard to see where the errors are. You need help. So if you can get a little help, push through that, and keep practicing, you can get better. And so this is what I'm recommending for, say, writing, is to actually practice every day, do some writing, in the ambition of disseminating what you do to a wider audience, and then get some help, get an editor. Could be colleagues, could be friends, but keep trying to test ways of improving yourself, asking whether it works, and it's really the only way to get better.